All right. What is good, BYL? What is good, BYL? It's been a minute. Obviously, you guys saw the thumbnail. It said power rankings. We won't be doing power rankings today. If you paid attention to the title, we're going to be going over some college football 26 news and kind of discuss this with everybody. We want the chat to be flooded with recommendations, any ideas, any questions, comments, concerns. We are currently in season 10, if I'm not mistaken. So 10 strong years of college football. Before we get started, Brandon, I want to know a year ago around this time. I know we're veering off topic, and yo ass be getting all nervous, but
No, I'm good.
um, a year ago around this time, we were coming up with the concept of BYL, bro. And a lot of people, I would say there's like 29 of us right now, or 28, 30 of us.
28
I would
of
say
us.
a solid 18, maybe even 20 around there were the original users in BYO when we first started. How do you feel like what would you rate the success like so far, like based on what we did? This is like a 2-year thing in the making. So I want to kind of know like where your head at as we kind of round out the college football 25.
Well, I would say it's a 10 just because we knew coming into this game there was going to be millions of leagues to choose from. And in Madden, when we make one, it's like everybody just comes in, they lose, they leave. And we didn't have that problem here at all. We had a lot of time to prepare and I would say this was kind of like our ideas coming into it. Like we wanted to see how, like, build a league from like just mine and your ideas and see where it would take us. But yeah, for us to have like 20 people still here, knowing there was going to be like a million leagues out there, it's a new game that we haven't got to play a very long time. I'm surprised that we've been able to keep the amount of users that we had, but we grinded all season. Very active in chat. A lot of commissioners out there ain't as active as we are, so that's a huge success to the league being still up today.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I just think with all of the kind of spreadsheets and everything that we had, starting before this game came out and just the idea behind it. Shout out to everybody who's been rocking with this. If you're new, hopefully you're liking the league so far. This kind of live show is something we did every single week when the game first dropped. It was like between August and December time. We kind of toned it back. Obviously, work's busy scheduling and stuff like that. So we're gonna try to get back into it. But yeah, this is something we did also, just going over power rankings, awards, and stuff. It's super fun. I'm not even gonna respond to that comment.
What do you say?
Josh said, I just saw my name. My only suggestion is after Steven wins 2 championships, he can get to NCAA recruiting violations. Yeah, we're not doing that. But yeah, like so basically what this video is gonna be, we're gonna go over the different ideas Brandon and I came up with as far as the wheel spin ideas and team selection ideas. Brandon, turn your phone down a little bit because I can hear an echo. So just turn your phone down a
The
little bit.
sound.
Yeah, just turn your volume down, like my voice, turn it down a little bit so that way it's not echoing super bad.
That better?
Yo, 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 yo. Okay. Yeah, so we're gonna go over that. There's 4 different ideas we have, and if anybody else has ideas, either type it in the chat, or just DM me or Brandon, and we'll kind of go over it. But what we want to do is kind of present these 4 ideas to you guys, and then I'm gonna create a Google like a little, what's this called? Not a quiz, but like a little questionnaire, like how I did for the awards, and then we're gonna let everybody vote on it. So everybody gets one vote, and whatever gets the most votes, what we'll do. So it'll just be a democracy. Whatever you guys want is what we want. So yeah. So just pay attention, please. Like I said, everybody's who's active is gonna get attribute points. There's 11 of us in here right now, or 13 of us, because me and Brandon are in here too. So yeah, survey. There you go, Sean. Say that's why I keep you around. It's a survey, right? Not a questionnaire. But yeah, we're gonna go through all that, and we'll break down each and every um kind of method that we thought of, and just if you guys have any questions, just let us know. So Brandon, I'll let you kick off the first one.
Yeah, so before I start this, a lot of these are like different. We could come up with like the plain Jane and just be very basic. I wanted to try to, with my ideas and Steven's ideas, we wanted to kind of like something new. So with that being said, we're gonna get into it. This one's called the tier one, two, three wheel spin. So there's gonna be 3 sets of tiers in the league. If you're like Steven, will be tier one, and if you like consider yourself like one of the worst users in the league, depending on your resume, that's why we had our history of wins and losses. So that'll kind of break you into three different tiers. And then if you're a tier one user, you'll get a 1 star program. A tier two will get a 1.5, and then a tier three will get a 2 star program. If there's any like tier three programs that we have that has a 3 star, it's in our that's in our thing. A tier three user will be able to get it, and this would kind of like what it kind of shows to if you're a really good user in the league, you'll have like a lower edge on recruiting and hours and stuff like that. And if you're a tier three user, you'll have an edge when it comes to having a better team, getting more hours recruiting, kind of help you build a better team a lot faster than somebody that would be at a tier one team. And it's not like you won't have to get a team. Like I'm not limited to one team. I'm just limited to that star program. So if there's 20 teams out there that are a 1 star, I get to choose between all 20, and there'll be a wheel based spin for that as well to determine the order for each tier.
Yeah, so um obviously this is a really good idea. Again, we're gonna go through all four ideas, and then at some point this evening I'll put together the survey of all the four ideas. You guys can vote on which ones you want. So that'll be kind of good. But I think this is a good one. Like Brandon said, it'll kind of help balance the league out. This season, obviously, I ended up with Boise State, and they were one of the best power or group of five teams. So that was like a big issue for a lot of people. Not issue, but it's been a gripe the whole time. So this will kind of break down. If you have been a consistent playoff user, then you're going to end up at a team like Air Force or not Montana,
Ball
Wyoming,
State, a
yeah,
lot
Ball
of the
State, yeah, Western
CUSA
Michigan,
teams are pretty bad.
yeah, something like that. While someone else may get the Boise States, the Memphis, the UNLVs, the USFs, teams like that. So, um, what about accepting offers? Any restrictions? No. So same thing as this year. Once you get an offer, you can dash. We're gonna keep it that way. Obviously, when the game first comes out, we're gonna do some mock tests and stuff like that, like we did this year. But we're definitely gonna, if you get the job offer, you go. Hopefully, they fix the job offers. Obviously, there's some of us that were at jobs for the longest, so I feel like a league vote for what tier people are in would be cool. So keep that in mind because we're gonna keep talking about it. So keep that in mind. Um, so I'll go over number two, bro. So wheel spin idea number two is the historical draft concept. So basically the same thing, but we're gonna use the all-time leaderboard to determine your order by tiers. So as of right now, you have obviously if you guys are watching on your phones, you can't do this. But if you look at the all-time leaderboard in the Discord, you'll see everybody's ranked from 1 to 29 or 30, however many users we have. So as you guys can see, whoever's number 1 through 10 after next year, and again, if we find out you're just tanking, then we're not gonna benefit you. So don't just start losing games on purpose. Oh, there he is. He said it before I could even comment. He commented before I even say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't tank because we'll be able to see that based on your averages and stuff like that.
And also,
So
we've seen you play throughout
yeah,
10
so
seasons. So we know in the back of our head, we know the top 10 and the worst 10 too. So
yeah, so I
it
mean,
ain't
if
gonna,
you go 0 and 12, it's not going to help your case. So just
yeah.
don't do that. Um, but yeah, so the numbers 1 through 10, you'll get the worst 10 picks in the draft. So, for example, right now I'm at number 1. That doesn't automatically mean I'm going to have the last pick in the draft. The best 10 users are going to be put on a wheel. You're going to get spun, and then that'll be the draft order. So let's say my name does get spun, then I'll be the last pick. The next name will be the 29th, and so on and so forth. The worst 10 users will have the top 10 picks. Then that middle 10 in the leaderboard will have the middle picks. And then you can pick any team. So at that point, it's not going to be you can only get a 1 star, 1.5, obviously, because the very best users based on the leaderboard are going to be in the back of the line anyways. So whoever picks 22, if they somehow get UNLV, then that's the first 20 people's fault. At the end of the day, you can't blame somebody for taking the best team at best available pick. So that's Will Spin idea number 2.
Wheel spin idea number three, Wheel of Fortune concept. So this is a completely random. We kind of added three different scenarios in there with these three tier things. So this is going to be completely random. All users placed on a wheel are all eligible for programs on another wheel spin both wheels at the same time. Whatever user spun concept program will be the team you pick. So let's say that my name gets spun and it lands on Ball State. That's the team I am. It's completely random. So you can't say, oh, he got the
Nice.
best team in the game. Oh, he got the worst teams. It's just everything's gonna be completely random. So that was kind of our idea when we came up with this one.
I feel like honestly, I think this is going to be the least voted
Yeah, I really
um,
don't want it. I came up with it.
because it's going to be Sean Say ran a league I was in Madden for a while, and he did this, and it's cool, in a game like Madden, because in Madden the worst teams are still decent enough to compete, but if you get stuck with a team like Army or something crazy, that is wild, and
Yeah.
especially when you're talking about hours, you're talking about recruiting pipelines, you're talking about the roster. Um, this is even more fun than when we did it in Madden. Yeah, in Madden, I think it's a little bit different just because if you get stuck with, let's say hypothetically, the Jets or something, you still have talent on the roster. So this is another one that we'll be able to vote on. And the fourth and final one. So I'm gonna break this down and I'm gonna do my best to explain it because I couldn't fit everything on one slide. So please pay attention to this because this is one that's not very just cookie cutter. And so Wheel Spin 4 is conference locks. So league wide vote. So everybody in the league, I'll put out a survey. Everybody in the league will be able to rank all users one or best to worst. So if you feel like Nebraska is the number one team in the league, number one user in the league, everybody's opinion is going to matter. If you feel like Nebraska is the number one user in the league and you have them 1, 2, whatever, all the way down to 30, then everybody's list, I'm going to go in and manually average it out. Once we have the average of how everybody as a whole views everybody. So if on average Nebraska was the number one person in the league, if I was the number two, if Brandon was the number three, if Sean State was number four, and so on and so forth, all the way down to the end, everybody's going to vote. Then what we're going to do is to keep it completely balanced, as much balance as possible. We're going to say, okay, the number one user, we're going to spin the wheel. Whatever conference that lands on, whether it be American, Mountain West, Conference USA, Sun Belt, whatever conference, we're going to have 4 conferences. Then that person has to go to that conference. So let's say hypothetically, Nebraska was the number one team based on the votes. He gets spun and he has to go to Mountain West, so that he is locked in for the Mountain West. Then you go to the next user. You spin the wheel. He goes to the American, and you keep going 1, 2, 3, 4. So then each user goes to one of the 4 conferences. Then you do the next 4. One of the 4 conferences, the next 4. So you keep going. So that way it's based on how everybody views the league. So it's not just us making a power ranking and us saying Clemson is the number 9 team. If Clemson feels like he's the best team, then he can put himself at number 1. Obviously, if everybody doesn't have it viewed that way, then it's not going to be that way. So it's basically going to be on how everybody views the league. We're going to average it out. Then that way we disperse it out based on the average on how everybody sees. Once all the users are in a conference, so let's say there's 8 users in each conference, then those names get put on a wheel. You spin the wheel, then you get to pick in that order for that said conference. So essentially, instead of bidding, it's kind of like number 3, where it's completely randomized. You Wheel of Fortune, you just pick whatever team it lands on. Number 4 is you're locked into that conference. So if my name gets brought up and I have to go to the Mountain West, then I have to choose a team in that conference. So I can't choose anybody else. It has to be somebody in the Mountain West. So that's kind of a mixture of the Wheel of Fortune concept, but a little bit different just because it's kind of bracketed off differently. It gives you a little bit more leverage as far as picking what team you want. But let us know in the comment section. I'm getting this. Oh, here we go with this guy again. Let us know in the comment section what you guys think. If there's any other recommendations for next year. Another thing we're going to get rid of, there won't be any more fines. Like I said, 18 to 20 of you guys have been with us the whole time. Rule breaking has been very, very low. And if it is, you guys kind of just figured it out on your own, which is really cool. Whether it just be punting the ball or, whatever the case may be. But if it obviously gets out of hand, we'll start implementing fines again. But it says question on number 4. Will top 4 average users go to the same conference? No. So number 1, 2, 3, and 4, all will be at different conferences. Number 5 through 8, all will be at different conferences. Number 9 through 12, all different conferences, and so on and so forth. So that way it's all, if I go this way, he has to go this way. And that way it's kind of dispersing the talent amongst every conference. But yeah, no more fines. We're still going to do the reward system again, cash prizes again still. Brandon, is there anything else you want to add, bro, that we're missing?
Not at the moment. I mean, hopefully they come up with some more things that they would like to see or be changed in the future. But right now, I don't really have much ideas when it comes to that.
I'm sure we're gonna kind of go over rules and stuff like that. We'll probably have some new rules based on how the game is played. But yeah, Shantae said keep them fines. Yeah, I think that's everything though. Those are the 4 ideas. We'll put it out on the survey so that way everybody could see it and vote. Um, They were, but at the same time, there were people not paying them, and it's like, what are we just gonna keep booting people? So that's the only problem. Just that two down two possession rule should be changed. Other than that, rules is good.
I think the
Not
timeout
trying
in
to
the
be
third
funny.
quarter kind of bugs people, but it's. I mean, I haven't seen enough. I've only seen maybe two people bring that rule up, and it's Ace and one more, maybe at most. I brought it up one time, but I've had that. We've had the same rule for what 5 years,
Yeah, we
and
probably
it hasn't
wouldn't
been
do
brought up
customs, to be
enough.
honest. We probably wouldn't do customs, because that defeats the purpose of opening your playbook. I've been in leagues where cover three lock, you have it in four different formations, so somebody's running that play every single time. So, what y'all think about live pregame or postgame interviews for game of the week? That's kind of hard because not everybody participates.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
we try to do that during some of the playoff matchups in the past, and it didn't. Just trying to get people on at the same time, and you being on at the same time as them is just kind of hard.
yeah, and also as far as like the recaps, we're probably still gonna just stick to the post games every time, and then your season recap. We'll implement something next year. Um, but yeah, I mean everything else is gonna stay pretty standard, I think. Um, for the most part. Sean got to be 45, damn near, bro. Yeah, he damn near 45. That's on. But yeah, I think that's it. I mean, unless anybody else has anything else to add before we get off. I mean, there's 19 of us in here, so obviously the floor is open. We have this is a good amount of people in here. If anybody has anything to add or any concerns, questions about the league or recommendations.
I will say when it comes to our postseason recaps, if we don't have some sort of like fine or something with that, they're going to like because I see a couple users now who just stopped doing them altogether, and that's something that we've had mandatory since day one. That
Yeah.
was before the rewards and fines system even took place. That was something that we wanted to bring to the league.
Bryce, what we're doing is I'm gonna put out a survey, so we're gonna vote on all four things. And whatever gets the most votes. And then if it's a tie, then obviously whoever voted for the other two that didn't get voted on will have to vote for the two that were tied. So that way, and stuff. We'd love to see the Natty have both users on live stream together. Um, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I will never play a game, whether it's week one or Natty, in the party with anybody or talking to anyone while I play. I just that's not what I do. The one time I did it was against my dad when my dad was in the league, and he was within 7 points at halftime, and that was his second league game ever in his life. So I knew at that point I would never do. Now I'll host one, that's fine, but I'm just letting you guys know I'm not making that mandatory because I'm not going to get on here and look at Brandon while I'm playing him because then I'm not
No,
going to be able
fuck
to
that.
focus. That's dead.
I've been in parties with Zach and Trey and shit, and it goes south every time.
Yeah, yeah, I'm
I
not. I
was
can't do
just
that.
playing Zach the other day at a party, and he was mad at me.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that though. But yes, I mean I wouldn't be able to do that. What about user promos, highlight videos with the recap? That would be cool too. Um, we got to figure out like just different things and different kind of incentives because obviously there's certain people that do more than others. Are we gonna find people who do weekly upgrades receiver? That's what Brandon just said.
What
Not
was the
weekly recaps,
question?
but season.
Not weekly recaps has always been like the if you want to help your team out or you want to be very active in the chat to take a part. But the season recap, you never got anything for it, but you didn't do it. It always hurt you. So that's something that we definitely going to bring back. I know whenever we end this year, I want to see everybody kind of do a BYL like college football 25 full blown recap of you being in the league this whole year, and maybe we can throw that on our YouTube because I know we did videos on our YouTube when we first came out, and
Hmm.
we a lot of people been here since day one, at least 18 or 20 of us, and if we all do videos and kind of talk about our experience with the league throughout the whole season. If you've been with 5 teams, I know Mike Jones had like 10 teams. He can talk about his 10 years of experience with 5 different programs or whatever it is. And if you only been at one, then cool. So I like to see something like that.
Yeah, and I also want to say now that everybody's in here, everybody join this league. And I'm more so speaking to the people who have been here since day one, because obviously some of you guys just joined this year or last year, so Um, it has obviously evolved since we started, but those of you guys have been here since day one, or even like season 3 or 4, maybe even 5. Everybody joined knowing the concept, knowing that it's not just a league where you're going to load up, play a game, and not talk to nobody for 2 days. This is something that has been more kind of in depth simulation, role playing type head coach scenarios and stuff like that. So please, I understand that you don't want to get on there and talk about your team when you lose, or even if you win, because that's not your style, or that's just not what you want to do. You think it's corny, but at the end of the day, like Brandon said, there are probably thousands of leagues. We enjoy everybody who's been in the league so far, especially if you've been here since day one. We've enjoyed having you. But at the end of the day, the league is probably not for you if you can't partake in a 60-second video every 2 days. Um, and again, it's not personal. It's just, I mean, it's just the business behind it. I mean,
Yeah.
we've put together a very good concept and a good foundation and structure on how we're going to run the league. So we're sticking to it. Obviously, users are going to come and go. There's been users who, came and didn't like it and they left. But going through 10 seasons with 75 or 70 to 75% of the same users is damn near unheard of when you're talking about in these Madden and college football leagues. So the fact that some of us have 130 or 140 games played. Um, all you got to do is go on the all-time leaderboard. I got you. Go on the all-time leaderboard and look at how many games people have played. Obviously, Bryce left for 2, 3 seasons, but he's been in here for damn near 100 games. Um, so just keep that in mind. Like I said, if you don't really like that kind of stuff, then like I said, it's not the league for you, and it's nothing personal. Like, I'm not trying to boot you out or kick you out, but I'm just at the end of the day, I don't want to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste our time because that's what this league is about. It's about doing, and this is gonna sound funny, but doing the corny stuff, like getting in there and saying what you did right and did wrong about the game, recapping your season, not just saying the same shit after every game, but actually taking away from it. Um,
I would give
take
out a huge shout out to True. I know he didn't like doing the pre games at first, but he used to break down. Now, whenever he did start doing his pre games, because we gave out the speeds, he's breaking his opponent down, making 3 4 minute videos. He's probably when it came to like recaps and stuff, he probably does takes it more serious than anybody. So yeah, and I know tours since like what February. I know there's been a couple of new users since February and kind of like toned down on some like the fines and rewards since then and not being so strict when it came to like Twitch and YouTube. But once we take our little whatever break it is before 26 comes out, there's a plenty of time for the 5 or 6 users to figure their YouTube out and stuff like that. Because we definitely the YouTube situation was something that we started with, and that's something that we're going to end with because if you can't the rule was you can stream on Twitch all you want to, but if it ain't on YouTube and we can't watch it after whatever, however many days or whatever, it does us no good.
Yeah, and the reason, keep a head-to-head record history, maybe. Yeah, that's something we can look into as well. Hopefully, they need something like that on the game, not just on the game. But the reason why those of you guys who are new are thinking like, why does it matter? Why do I have to stream on YouTube or I got to upload it? It's for rule breaks. So if you stream on Twitch and you play, naturally you're going to play 5 to 6 CPU games a year. If you play those games and you're going for it on 4th and 8 in the second half and you're up by 7 and we have no way to track that, that's a problem. Or if I know I'm playing Brandon in week 9, I could go in and watch film. Like I said, this is a simulation realistic type of franchise and dynasty. When it comes to, some people might take it more serious than others. I haven't watched film on anybody since probably week or season 2 or 3. I stopped caring as much, but early on I was doing it just because you want to be the best user you can be, and that goes to finding people's tendencies, finding people's schemes, and their strong suits and weaknesses and stuff like that. So
Yeah, I didn't really watch film on nobody from that standpoint. But I went and watched because I watch a lot of people's games because that's just what I do. I've got all day in the world when it comes to time, so I see a lot of people's games. But when it came to like tendencies, that's was like my main thing. Whenever I went to go back and watch somebody, I'll sit there and go on every one of your third downs. I'll see exactly what you did, and you want to know why you're 3 for 7 against me on third down. But towards the end of the, I would say around December, I stopped watching a lot of people's when it came to like going back and watching over, I said that's probably around the time I stopped.
Yeah, so just everybody keep that in mind. All the rules are posted in Discord, all the announcements. Like I said, we're not going to do fines next year, but if it starts to get to a point where it's getting out of hand and it's like a free for all, then we're going to implement the fines again. We want everybody to have fun, but we want to keep everything also, structured and strict, so that way we can maintain success. Our plan also, this is something we haven't talked about. Our plan is to do one more season, unless Brandon changed his mind. But
I haven't
um,
changed my mind yet, but
I guess it just
we
depends on how fast we
what's
finish
the
next season.
release date? The 7th of July, right?
Yeah, but we aren't going to start immediately though.
No, we're not. But also, I would kind of like because people are going to be once they realize like, oh, I pre-ordered my game and it comes out in 5 or 6 days, and another thing that people like to do is when they realize it's the last season, you start getting a lot less energy out of them. They're taking forever to play their game. We kind of step a little bit now with some users. They kind of lost their energy, but they kind of want to thug it out with us. But I've been kind of keeping eyes on people and seeing what they've been doing the last season or two to kind of see how much energy gets put in it. I know maybe like the last week or two, I've seen a lot more unplayed CPU games
Hold
than
on,
I
hold on.
have.
One second. So he said for number 4, would pick order then go 8-1, lowest ranked tier picks first? No. So let's say that there's 8 users that get put in the Mountain West. We'll spin the wheel, and whatever order that wheel picks is the order that they can pick teams. And there's no tiers in that one. That's just
Yeah, and if let's say the league votes Steven as a number one user in the league and he goes to the Mountain West, he has an opportunity to be the first pick in that conference.
yeah. You have a 1 in 8 chance. So we're gonna spin the 8 names, and then that order is where what you're gonna pick. So I could have the first pick in that conference. I could have the last pick. I have the third pick, seventh pick, whatever. But you're just locked into that conference, and we'll spin the wheel for that conference. And you guys got to think there's going to be 10 teams probably per conference, maybe 2 CPUs. So, I mean, you have a 1 in 8 chance. So you have a 50% chance to get a top 4 pick. That's not bad at all. Um, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, we're in week 11 right now. We'll probably finish this season by the 12th, maybe 13th, in another week and a half. Do y'all decide which conference is worse to where the best user goes? No, so it's just going to be based on the wheel.
Random.
Yeah, all randomized. And then depending on how fast we can get to the next season, my goal, personally, is to stop playing by Father's Day, so we could get 2.5 weeks off from playing from Father's Day. That kind of gives everybody. I mean, I would say at least 50% of us in here have kids. At least
Yeah.
50%. So kind of Father's Day weekend, not have to worry about the game. Then you got 4th of July weekend, 2 weeks after that, not have to worry about the game. Then boom, the new game comes out. And then when the game comes out on the 7th, obviously, again, we're not making anybody go buy the game, the $100 bundle to get a game 3 days early. Not saying that, but we are going to put a time limit on, when y'all going to have to buy the game, because we'll probably start, last week of July, maybe like 2 weeks after the game comes out. We'll probably do like a little tournament or something. Oh, my back, bro. Probably do like a little tournament or something when the game first comes out, how we did this year, and then kind of get started. But definitely going to need the game, week after release or on release date, so we can get everything kind of going and the ball rolling.
Yeah, the only thing that set us back so far to this time was whenever our custom coaches was like bugging us out. Well, we
Yeah,
would have started like a month before we started that one.
yeah. But yeah, like I said, any questions, comments, concerns, let us know. 30-minute live. Those of you guys who are in here and communicating and dropping comments stuff like that, you guys are gonna get the +3. So shout out to you guys. We'll probably do another live next weekend. Next weekend's Mother's Day, so probably not. We'll figure something out. But we definitely need to do more of these lives, because it kind of benefits when everybody gets in here. At one point, those are the new guys. At one point, we were doing national championship live shows. Oh, the new guys, please do me a favor. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. Everybody in here, like the video and then subscribe to this YouTube channel. We're gonna get this one back rocking again. Also, if you go through all of our videos on this channel, you can go see old national championship broadcasts. Typically, we'd have 2 or 3 people kind of commentating the game, which is super dope. We had game of the weeks, 3 or 4 seasons ago. We were commentating those as well. So we're gonna start doing that again. start getting the energy back up in here. Do
There
a
was a
ranking
point where we
process.
were advancing like so quick, and it just
Yeah.
got super like, oh, we don't got enough time because we were advancing in 30 minutes. We was moving so much, and Sunday started getting real hectic.
So 5 conferences should be 6 users per conference. No, well, we're gonna do 4. We don't know how much the head count's gonna be. It's 32 this year. So, um,
I would like to see 40, but I doubt they'd
yeah.
move it up. They haven't
Hopefully they
moved
up the
it.
user count, but I doubt they will. But if they don't, it'll be 4 conferences of 8. Just because if we do 5 conferences of 6, then we can't control how many conference CPUs you have, CPU games. So it'll just be like nonstop CPUs. You guys got to remember when we first started this, you didn't have a lot of CPU games
Yeah,
because
maybe two.
because you were playing 7 or 8 other users in conference, and then you were also playing 3 other out of conference users. So like 10 or 11 of your games were users. Obviously, as everybody kind of dispersed, um, which conference would be out. I mean, it'll probably just depend on what teams are
If
good
I
and what
had to
teams are
take
bad.
a guess, it'd probably be the CUSA. But I mean, the Mountain West, the MAC, the Sun Belt, the Americans are top four right now, and then they're adding the Pac-12 back. We don't know if those other teams are going to be put in the game. But I'd probably say the Pac-12 probably left out with the CUSA because I don't think there are going to be that many teams in there.
But also, what we'll probably do is move. If let's say Conference USA is going to be deemed to be out, we would, based on region, move those teams into certain conferences. So that way, if somebody wanted to choose, let's say somebody wants to choose James Madison, for example, but they're not in one of the 4 conferences we say you could select from, you can still pick them, and we would just move them based on region to that conference. So that way you can use them. Because obviously, if we completely eliminate the Conference USA, completely eliminate the MAC, or Independence, for example, if somebody would want to use ULM or something crazy like that, or whoever else is independent, UConn, then we'd move them over somewhere so you can use them. But they would just be the same way we're doing now, kind of just regionally, so that way you're recruiting against people and stuff like that. If we go 3, y'all better not get mad and not put y'all in when you get a shitty booty team. I mean, that's what's gonna happen. So
Which go to number three.
number 3 is
That's
the
the
randomized one. So I
oh
just
yeah, I
want
mean,
everybody to know if y'all, because I've seen a lot of people say number 3 in here. A lot of people have said number 3. The only other idea that I have for number 3, a lot of people have left alive at this point, but there's still 14 of us in here. The only other idea I have for number 3 is we have like a kind of like a Russian roulette style, like where we spin the wheel twice and you could pick between those 2. Maybe we do something like that, because I'm guaranteeing you now, people are going to pick number 3, and then either one, a really good user is going to get a really good team, or a bad user is going to get a bad team, or you're going to get stuck with a bad team, and now you're going to be pissed off, even though you were one of the people who voted for number 3. So I just think when you look at the Wheel of Fortune, maybe we add it to where you get 2 options. So like if the first wheel spins and you're cool with that team, then you take them. But if you say no, I want to do a kind of a
a
suicide,
roulette. Like if you
yeah,
get,
like
do you get to
a
pick the
suicide.
second one, or does like that's what you're stuck with?
So that's the thing. Maybe we just do it to where you have to get the second one if you don't want the first one.
Because
Or
let's say I land on Ball State, and I'm like, no, I don't want Ball State, but then I get fucking UConn, and I'm like,
yeah,
damn, I would have rather had Ball State. Are we
yeah.
going like,
So
no, you're UConn now, or do I get to pick between those
yeah,
two?
maybe we just do pick between the 2. Um, Now the only problem with doing that though is what I don't want to happen is where if you look at the all-time leaderboard, excuse me, and the top 6 users end up in the same conference, then it's like it's going to be super, super top heavy on one side. You're going to have, hypothetically, let's say I lose 5 of my conference games. Then on the other side, you have whoever the number 19 user is on the all-time leaderboard, which I don't know off the top of my head. I just had a random number, and he's 8-1 heading into week 9 or week 10. And it's like the balance of power is so messed up. That's the only thing I don't like about it, being able to choose. But I also don't want somebody to get stuck with a team they don't want, and right out the gate they're already tuned out and they don't want to play anymore. Because at least we
Yeah,
got to
I
choose
feel
our
that.
teams
And
this
when
time
it
around.
comes to, I mean, we're probably going to have like, what, 60, 70 teams on there to choose from.
It
I think if we
depends.
had
I
like,
think it depends.
I
It
think we had
depends on
like
the star rating.
60 this season. It might be around 50 or whatever, but when it comes to like, if everybody like, oh, because if you do, everybody gets 2 spins. everybody's gonna do the second spin. If I get the best team and I'm allowed to pick between the two, I'm gonna say spin again.
Yeah, just that way you have the option.
Yeah, just so you can have the option. So I feel like if you tweak it too much, it'll just become like, oh, you might as well just spin two teams for everybody.
Yeah. Um, I don't know though, because I also feel like, and again, I know only one person did this, but I feel like it was a little too easy early on. Like maybe Boise State, UNLV, Memphis, maybe those teams, Tulane, shouldn't be even be available off the rip.
Oh, I
Like,
agree there. I mean,
like
if
I'm
you
gonna
go
be
back to
honest.
slide
So
one,
wait. So I'm gonna be honest. I think if we did something like the Wheel of Fortune, then I think it should only be 1 and 1.5 star teams that are available, and you get spun, and everybody just gets a bad team. That's what I think we should do for Wheel of
I'm
Fortune.
not against that either. If you go to spin one, whichever one that was, let's see it.
You said number one.
Yeah. So like I forgot what I was about to say when I seen the awards. I don't even know what I was thinking to fucking say.
Well, yeah, man, I just feel like because if somebody gets spun randomly and gets UNLV, like I said, they're the best team. They're one of the best teams. They're probably going to be better than a lot of teams in the Power Five. It was so easy for me once I got to the playoffs with Boise State. Like I just coasted to the national championship, and that's what I don't want to happen again. And it was really like that for the first 3 seasons, if I'm being
It'll
honest
be
with
very
myself.
hard. Like I don't know what Boise State's prestige was, and I feel like regardless, I
They were
played
like
with
a
you for a
2 or
long
two
time.
and a
I feel
half.
like you were gonna get there regardless. But if you're a one-star team, I feel like the path to the playoffs a lot harder, even if you was to go
Definitely.
undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, and like I said, it was for season one. I was the only user in the playoffs. Season two was only me and Sterling. Season three, I think there was like three of us or two of us still. So it's like I don't want it to be like that where whoever, let's say, doesn't even have to be me, it could be anybody. Whoever gets UNLV or Boise State, once they get to playoffs, it's like okay, you're just use CPUs the whole way through. And that's I think the problem that I have with the Wheel of Fortune is somebody's going to get a good team, and it might be not be a good enough user to do it. But even if we say a decent team, who's like USF, not Josh, but USF the team. Like if somebody were to go to USF, like that's a good program. Like I mean,
Yeah,
it's not the greatest, but like I would feel confident if I was USF and I went to playoffs, I could still win it all. But like if you say I had Kennesaw State, I don't feel confident anymore against Alabama or Georgia. So he said option four guarantees user choice and balance power amongst conferences. It'll probably be like that anyway, since only like 2, 3 users can get in the playoffs anyways. Yeah, but well, in year one it was only one, in year two it was only two.
yeah, I fully
I don't
expect
know.
it kind of be the same way. Like once, because it's very hard for multiple people to get into the playoffs as a low team.
Option one and three have a lot of cons.
Let's
One
hear them.
number one is not terrible. Number three,
I
obviously
like
the
number
con.
one, and I like my favorite personally is number two.
Number two is solid as well because it kind of
It doesn't completely like hurt like on spin one. It hurts like the best user in the league to a certain extent. Like the top 10 users, like you're limited to like a small program versus because I think it might have been Fredo. He said
mhm,
that he wanted a bad team. I guess like they add like the a new like Missouri State or some shit they bring to the
yeah.
game. Like he said, if he was the number one pick in the game at one point, he was going to consider them. So if he gets number three pick and he takes a bad team and that causes one of the top 10 users in the league to get a good team because y'all decided that y'all didn't want them. I mean, it kind of balances out from that standpoint. But on spin one, you don't matter if they leave all them teams out on the board or not. You're stuck with what you got.
This is a really good question. So I'm also gonna say so to kind of answer your
I have
question.
something for this. I'll let you go first.
So no, you go ahead and go. You might be on the same page. You just go.
Whenever it comes to new users, like let's say right now we have 28, I fully expect every one of us to go to the next one. And let's say we bring four more in. I want to treat them like the best users in the league because it was a grind for us for 10 seasons, 11 seasons, whatever it did. We had the longest grind for a full year. And let's say that we don't know these new users that are coming in, and somebody might be as good as like Steven or Sean Say or Ace, like they might be really good, and we treat them like a just let's like don't harm them too bad because we never seen them play, and they get a fuck around and get. If we go to like number two and we give them like a picks between 1 and 10, like, and they fuck around and get one of the better teams, and they're just running shit, and they don't really have the same grind as we did, especially when it comes to like CFB26, where like our options could pretty much hurt some of the best users in the league, and we just let somebody who just because I got a lot of messages. Let me know when y'all reboot, or let me know when the next year comes out. They didn't want to like join us, but they want me to hit them back up whenever the new league starts. So I don't really want to like just come in. We'll give you a chance to get whatever tier or whatever. I think they should go to the bottom. We had to work our way up from the bottom. They can too. That's my idea on that. But I'll let you go.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think if you're a new user, I mean, you got to keep, keep the loyal people in front. I mean, that's just the way I view it as well. If everybody being here for at least, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 seasons, then that's how we're going to do it. Obviously, some of you guys just joined within the last year or two, but that's why we have the all-time leaderboard. We keep track of everything. So, and it's all based off percentages. So it's minimum once full season played. So, for example, wait, did I update the leaderboard this last time? I think I did, didn't I?
Yeah, you updated the last time.
Okay, so for example, perfect example. You're not gonna like this, but Zay, Arkansas State user, he has far less games played than a lot of people, but he's the number 9 user in the leaderboard because of his average. So again, we have the historical data of 10 seasons. So if, for example, and I'm not saying he's gonna do this, but let's say Zay said, I'm just gonna purposely lose my last 4 games to move down. We could see what your average is the first 2 seasons you played. So if the first season you played, you averaged an 81 win percentage. The second season you averaged a 72, but now this last season you're at 44. I'm not stupid. It's because you tried to tank the last years after you saw what the plan was going to be. So you're not going to use that. We're not going to use that towards your ranking. And again, so somebody like, let's look at Alberto, for example. He has 110 more games played than Zay, but he's lower than him based on his average. So those of you guys who just joined, obviously we only have 1 season to use. So that's where it kind of gets tricky. Because like somebody like David, what team is David?
What's his coach's name?
I don't know. I mean, his name on here is David, David P.
Oh, you talking about Akron?
So that's Akron. So he's okay. So how long has Akron been? This is his first year, right?
No, that he Akron has been in here. Am I? And his name is that like Pootie Pie or whatever his fucking name is? He
Huh?
has a weird name, but it might be Akron. But Kent State was a Coach Fresh. That's the last set of new users that are even allowed to come with us until the season's over with.
Okay. What is your name on the game? What are you on the all-time leaderboard? Is he not
I
on
don't
it?
know who David is, unless it's
He's
like
Akron. He's Akron. He's Akron.
yeah, yeah.
He's not on the all-time leaderboard though. Did he join halfway through last season?
No, he's Coach P.
Oh, he's Coach P. Okay, he's on here then. Bro, change the damn name, bro. God damn.
That's why I was
Okay,
saying
Coach P.
like
Okay,
his
so
name
Coach.
was like PewDiePie or whatever,
Okay,
Papa
so he's
Pump or some
okay.
crazy
So he's
shit.
he's number 15. See, that's why we need real names, bro. And like another thing, bro. Virginia Tech, bro. Put your name next game, bro. I'm not
LeVar
calling you
Ball is
LeVar Ball no
crazy.
more, bro. Come on, bro.
LeVar Ball.
Um, but yeah, so Kent State, right? You should keep what is chosen a secret. So after last season, and that eliminates people from. Okay, good idea,
Like I
Zach.
was gonna say that earlier. Now that we discussed this, I think we should just use our leaderboard that we have now, because there's no like whatever they do from the last season. A lot two things. One, the last season, the people that don't think they have a legit opportunity to win the national championship, you might not get that much energy out of them. And another thing is like if they know they might not win the last national championship and you done spilt out the tiers and stuff like that, they might try to like tank to try to make their average out to be worse. And we've seen them for 10 seasons, and I feel like if we don't use like because Zay's been in the league for he only has like 2 seasons in here or 3 seasons, but he's number 9 with 100 less games. Um, it's going to come to a point where when we're building these tiers, we kind of have to like, okay, is Justin Strickland has 100 wins? Is he better than Zay to like get that tier one? We're probably going to have to see something like that, and if we're going to like try to make it skill worthy at all when it comes to the best 10 users. Because I know when you on number four thing on spin four, when you send that list out, it's kind of different because we get to vote on what best 10 users we think they are.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to these tiers, at some point, I feel like you're probably going to have to like judge people on their skill.
Yeah, well, I mean, we could also just, like Josh said, just use this year's rankings. I mean, we're 10 games in. So, I mean, if somebody said, well, I'm going to lose the last 2 games, I mean, that's not going to do much for
Oh yeah,
them.
that
Yeah,
I
so, I
wasn't
mean,
really concerned about that.
so we could use this season, I guess. Yeah, I mean, I think that's everything, bro. Um, yeah, I
Yeah, I
mean, I
mean,
think
there's a
that's,
recommendation tab. Y'all seen 45 minutes worth of talking. If y'all eating dinner or whatever and think of something, there's always a tab. I mean, the new league ain't gonna start tomorrow, so we still got a bunch of time. We're gonna continue doing live shows up until the new game comes out, and I'm pretty sure we have more ideas coming to try to see how we can make the league better.
was that it? That was a weird ass sentence ender.
Yeah, I about started choking.
I'm gonna so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna come up with the survey, the number 1 through 4. Um, what I'm also gonna do, uh, buddy is so lame, bro.
What do you say? Oh man.
Um, oh yeah,
Hopefully you fucking
Fred, I'm
keep
not
a
gonna lie,
job next season.
that was a crazy pause. I didn't say nothing, but that was a crazy pause. Um, and it's crazy because Brandon didn't even catch it. That's the crazy part.
I ain't even.
It was when you stopped talking, I was like, that was a crazy sentence answer. You were like, yeah, because I was about to start choking.
Oh shit.
That was a crazy ass pause. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put all the ideas in the survey. I'll name each wheel spin what they're on here. So tier 1, 2, 3, historical, wheel of fortune, and then conference locks. And then at the bottom, I'm also going to put um everybody's all the users' names. And it's gonna have like a little bar where you can drag it, I think. Where you can like drag the names and stuff. I want everybody to rank 1 through whatever. So that way I have that. And if number 4 does get picked, I don't have to go through it later. And ask you for another survey. So just take the time to do that. Hopefully everybody submits it by like the end of the week or something. It's nothing crazy. It's gonna take 3 to 5 minutes to do.
Hopefully, when it comes to like ranking users, like obviously, if you feel like you're the best user in the league, cool. But don't troll us and
Yeah,
put
like
fucking Fredo at number 8.
yeah, that's
No
crazy.
disrespect to Fredo, but come
You
on,
can't
like,
say that after doing that, bro.
bro, take your time and make a legit like
Yeah, and that's
rankings.
and that's another thing, y'all. So we did power rankings for so long in this league. People always got mad where they were, on the rankings. Please, like this is the time. Me and Brandon are gonna be able to see everybody's list. So don't be stupid, Zach. Don't put yourself at number 2, bro. And like again, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's like actually try to make a solid list based on. It's all opinionated. So if you feel like somebody's 1, you feel like somebody's 7. Okay, cool. I'm not gonna ask you like why do you have this guy here. I'm not gonna do that. But please, let's just use good merit. Everybody use your brains. Use the all-time leaderboard. Use who has won national championships, who has won conference championships. Everything is on the Discord. There's a cheat sheet right there for you. Again, don't just rank it off the all-time leaderboard 1 through 29, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of stuff that's bunched up, and there's a lot of good arguments for a lot of people. But this is time for everybody's voices to be heard based on where you guys want to rank people. Make sure you guys, I'll have everybody's name on there, so make sure you guys know who's who. And I'm gonna average it out at the end. And even if we say we don't choose this one, which is number 4, I'll still go through at the end of CB25, and we'll go through and we'll say the college football 25 BYL rankings, user rankings for this as follows. We'll have a live show based on a ranking show on who was the number 1 user all the way to the last user for this particular game. We'll do the same thing next year. We'll do a preseason or a pregame show and stuff like that. So It's gonna be fun. I understand that, David. I mean, you and a few other people, because you guys haven't seen anybody, but for what you have seen, just do your best. All we ask is to be realistic. Don't
I mean,
troll
I
at the
can
end of the
see an
day.
argument with you when it comes to like, it not being completely accurate because you haven't seen everybody.
Exactly.
And I wouldn't go 1 through 29 because I know you've seen enough football to know like one user is probably better than the other one, but they're probably pretty close to each other on the leaderboard. I would use the leaderboard to my advantage when it came to that, but I wouldn't like just copy and paste the leaderboard on there.
Quick question, Josh. What do you mean by this? You be able to do rank your picks and do like a point system for the ideas. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. So like rank 1, 2, 3, and 4, the wheel spin. I see what you're saying. But then again, I don't know. I think we should just vote. It just makes more sense. So is that a no for the face-off idea for big games, or did I miss your response? Oh no, I didn't see that. So for the face-off, well, I mean it's the same thing as a press conference is. It's so hard to get people in at the same time. There's certain people that just don't want to do it. We did that for Madden for the longest. People don't take it serious enough. I love hosting like press conferences and stuff like that, like a boxing type of thing where I ask like, what do you feel like you're confident at? What do you see as holes in his game? Stuff like that. But excuse me, like I said, some people just aren't interested in it and just think it's quote unquote corny or like they don't have time for it. But like I said, this league is going to be as good as we all make it. So we've gone 10 seasons, season like 6 and on. We kind of slowed down with the simulation role playing type stuff. But I think we need to pick that back up because it makes the league really fun when you have storylines and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm down for it. We also could use help for people who have these type of ideas. So Sean say, so you have this idea. So now your ass needs to be the one to get on here and get on your Brian Custer mode and start interviewing people, and be that middleman. Because I mean, the more the help, the better. Um, but yeah, so again, we're gonna put out the rankings thing. So this is gonna be both for ranking, for possible will spin number 4, but also it's gonna be the ranking for one or best to worst users for this entire game. I'll be real. I thought it was corny at first, but as soon as I started doing them, it was actually a really cool idea, and I really rock with it. Yeah, I mean, at first it's kind of weird, obviously, because there's 30 dudes in here who are, playing the game. My wife still thinks I'm lame as shit, but like I said,
Mine
it's
too.
it's really fun once you actually are in here for a long time and you quote unquote build a relationship with your program. So will there be a rule for shirts and videos? There's only like 3 or 4 people who would be doing that shit, bro. I thought it was too much at first, but it became really fun. It actually made it better. Hey, yeah, what Dane say? He said, I'm sick of this shit.
David, man,
Oh
Dane ain't never
shit.
made a recap just being still, man. He's all over the place, just
God
cussing.
damn, walking around that tiny house. um, but yeah, so let us know. I will post the damn survey here in the next 30 minutes. Just 'cause I got to get everybody's names on there. I'll have the coach's name with their current team name. Um, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Please, like I said, please, I'll make a post and announce about this. Take your damn time with the rankings and do not troll. If I can if I look at it and I'm like and I can't see logic or rationale behind it, I'm not even gonna count you. Um, okay, see you. Hey, be careful what you wish for. Now, don't bite off more than you can chew. Now, Chauncey. Um, so like he said, if you have Zach or if you have Big Fredo at number 1, I'm just gonna delete your response.
Yeah, the
Like
only
that's
reason why I use like Fredo is because I mean he's been with us for since we started, and I talk to him like out of the league all the time. He knows I ain't like trying to disrespect him, but if I go in there and like use somebody that just joined the league, like Coach Fresh, and start degrading him, he would probably take it personal.
yeah, but yeah. So just please take your time with it. Everybody's list. I would love for everyone's list to be completely different. You might have somebody at 1, and somebody else might have that person at 5. Somebody might have somebody at 11. They have them at 4. That's okay. That's fine. But let's be realistic. Um, Again, try to take your own personal bias out of it and try to make a realistic league. I feel like we got rid of the most biased person ever. I'm not gonna say his name because he might see this video and I don't even want to hear his ass comment. But you know who I'm talking about. Fred. We know who. Josh. We know who I'm
Oh
talking
yeah,
about.
yeah,
We know who I'm talking about.
yeah.
We know who I'm talking about. But yeah,
Shout out
so
to you, man. You know who you
yeah.
are.
But yeah, so please just like I said, just try to be non-biased, be authentic. I'm not 45, bro. Chill. Don't listen to Steven. This man, Sean Say, he's a king of like rewinding or something. He must be way back. But yeah, we're gonna go live again next weekend. Shout out to you guys, those of you guys who have been in here. I'm gonna go through all the comments, take pictures of everybody who was in here, so you guys can get points. But yeah, we'll see you guys in the chat, and make sure you guys respond to the message that's gonna come in the next 30 minutes for the survey. We'll catch y'all later. Peace out.
Peace.